Okay, so this is going to be a short, quick tutorial video on pivoting and symbolizing the body parts of your character. So the first thing to do is double click on the body movie movie clip symbol. So now I'm working within the Sally Rex character. I can tell because there's all my body parts, and also in this daisy chain there's scene 1 and then the movie clip symbol BD for body. So the head is already a symbol, so we won't really have to mess with that. So I'm going to lock it and just start moving down the list. So the best way to select these body parts is not to uh, select them on the character, because that means you're going to have to consistently hold down shift and make sure you grab every individual color and part of each body part, and that could become a headache if you miss a part. So the best way to go about doing this is to actually select your character, select the body parts of the character over here on the timeline. So just by selecting a layer, it will select everything within that layer. Okay, so let's start at the top. Let's start with the right arm. I'm going to turn it into a symbol using the hotkey F8. So I'm going to convert to symbol. I'm going to keep the naming convention the same. I'm going to call it the right arm. And I'm going to make sure that the type of symbol is graphic, not movie clip like we've been making previously, but graphic. The registration is centered, and I'm going to click OK. So now I have this right arm over here in my library as a graphic symbol. It's two different icons for the movie clip and the new graphic symbol. Next thing that we need to do is change the pivot location. We can even see where the pivot location is on this symbol right here in the library. It gives you a little image of what is included into these symbols, so we can see that it's centered, and that's not going to work when we need to pivot it and move it during the animation. So I'm going to double click this arm symbol, and now working within the arm graphic symbol, you can see scene, BD, body, now right arm graphic symbol. Now the way to do this is I'm going to make sure that I have the selection key selected, or the selection tool. Holding down shift and using the arrow keys, I'm going to move this arm down a number of times, keeping track of how many times I move it. So holding down shift and using the down arrow key, I'm going to count these out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's about good. Move it back up, or move back into the body movie clip symbol and move it back up 9 times. Holding down shift using the up arrow key. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Go back into the arm. I'm going to move it to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to go back into the body, move it back 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the idea is now with the free transform tool on rotation, I have a new pivot point, and ideally it's where your shoulder would pivot anyway. So that's the whole concept of this process, and now I'm just gonna zoom out a little bit and keep moving down the line. So right arm hand, hotkey F8, gonna keep the same naming convention, RT For right arm hand graphic. For type, registration is center. Okay. So now I'm going to double click the symbol and holding down shift and using the arrow key, I'm going to try and get that pivot point in a better position. I think right around here is probably a little bit smarter, so let's do that. 1, 2, 3. That looks good. Move back. 1, 2, 3, 3. Go back in. 1. That's about right. 1. So I'm going to blow through the rest of these, and you can follow along. I'm just going to speed this process up. Just keep in mind that before you can do anything, you've got to make your symbols. Make sure they're graphic, that the registration is in the center, and then you'll probably have to use your own discretion on where this shape will best go. You can test it. If you don't get these perfect first try, it's not a super important thing right off the bat. The idea is just to get as close as possible. You can make some slight adjustments while animating. This is just sort of something to save you time and frustration. I put this pivot point for the large mass of her body right at the hips, same place that her legs would probably rotate a little bit. Seems like it would make a little sense, like more sense. And last but not least, the tail. Okay, so you should have all your parts pivoted and symbolized. You can see them all here on your right library. Okay, so we'll put the spikes onto the body parts in the next video.